Yo, yo, yo. What's going on with everybody, man? I'm gonna keep this short. It's easier for me to do a stream than it is to make this some thought out video and put it out there. It's easier just to record as it goes and then upload. It uploads as soon as I'm done talking. I think that's easier than going through the camera roll, making sure I got the storage to do it, hit the record button, go about a planned way to say shit, and um, it me getting off topic and shit. So it's easier for me to hang on. I'm plugging my phone in. It's easier for me to do that than It's easier for me to do a live video instead. I want to talk about some couple things. Like I said, this is checking in. I made my first in the thumbnail that you're going to see as soon as this is uploaded is actually going to be where my seats will be next season. I am done sitting in the club section. If you want to know why I want to part ways with my dad, you can go. I have a video uploaded. It's called "Let's Talk." It was right after the Detroit game. An incident at the Detroit game made me realize that I do not want to sit in this section anymore, um, and don't want to sit in the pewter seats. I don't want to sit in the club section anymore. So I told my dad. I said, "Hey, I'm parting ways. I'm gonna make my own get my own tickets." And I hit up a buddy, a really close buddy of mine, who in July and August I will be able to save money for a road trip we want to take during the season and during the weeks, I guess. Save money for inside the stadium. So that's where it is right now as far as my situation with season tickets. I did make my first official payment today. Felt good, um, but I still got 4 months to go. A long way to go until I actually have the lanyard in hand and the ticket in hand. So really happy to announce that today. Guess we'll talk about a couple of other things um, as well. Talk about the Lightning real quick. They finally did not go into overtime last night. They went to 6 straight overtime or shootout games, um, and they won all 5 of them. I think they won 5 of them and lost one in a shootout. Or no, they lost one in overtime. They lost to Buffalo, and I was there. Yeah, the one game they did lose in overtime, it had to be in my presence. But they won the other 5. They've done, you know, offense is not a problem. And the thing about the Lightning is they have got to stop letting teams back into games. They need to stop pitter pattering around in the third period because that's what it's been in most of these games. You think of the last night, even last night they played horrible in the third period and almost let New York back into the game. They got to stop doing that. They've got to stop letting teams back into games. They did that against Dallas. They did that against not Montreal. They did it against Dallas. They did it last night, even though we were already ahead 5-1. They still allowed 2 goals, and in hockey, 2 goals can be scored in a matter of seconds. So they did it against Dallas. They did it last night. They did it against Florida, and they did it against another team. Or did they come from behind in the other ones? I think they came from behind in the other ones. But my point being is the Lightning are dominant in the first and the second period. They don't allow anything. They are pretty upscale. They dominated last night. Last night they had it took we had 20 shots before New York. I almost said New England. New York had one. So I mean, you gotta. I don't know. It's I don't know. He acquires J.T. Miller and Ryan McDonough. McDonough has been hurt. We're gonna get to see him next week. But J.T. Miller has been on point. I love the way JT Miller has been playing since his time since arrival in Tampa. He's been fast. He's been shooting the puck well. He's been making himself overtime games. I think he had 2 or 3 game winners. The move he put against Florida the other night had me running around this house like a fucking madman. Like even Rick Beckham, the voice for the line on TV, his reaction was crazy. I ran around this house for 5 minutes saying he did not just do that. He did not just do that. That move Braden Point put against the Panthers the other night was out of control good. Um, we go in another break point. Corey Conacher's played pretty well. That Cicerelli kid, he's been in the time that he stepped in, he's been doing pretty well. Adam Ernie stepped up and trying to earn some play time. It's kind of strange. The superstars, they're doing their thing. Games, those third and fourth liners, they're actually doing a damn good job. As I just named, Yanni Gourde, he's the third or fourth line. He might be second nowadays, but Yanni Gourde, he's not much. Outside of Tampa, not a lot of people know who Yanni Gourde is. So Yanni Gourde's making a name. Corey Conacher's making a name. Adam Ernie, the Cicerelli kid, who I think it's Anthony Cicerelli. I can't remember. He's still somewhat relatively new round. So he's been doing really good. And Andre Vasilevsky, you could not ask. He last night he just tied the 40 wins in a season, tying Ben Bishop's record from the he'll break it. Obviously, we got all this time left in the season. He'll break it. I'm going to the game tomorrow against Montreal. Figured matinee. Let me take advantage of it. Actually, gonna be my dad and I. We go to a game every year, at least one, and I just said, let's go to this one. It's an afternoon game, you know. So which should be a good game. All the games we played against Montreal this year have been pretty good, pretty entertaining. The most recent one did go to shootout, or was that one in overtime? We've had so many shootout and overtime games the last week. It's hard to say which one went to which one. But I know we went into, we needed extra time for that game against Montreal in Montreal that we just played a week from right now as far as offense goes. They got some things they need to fix on defense, like not allowing 30 or more shots a game. That's definitely something Coach Cooper wants to fix. That's definitely something I think that needs to fix. And they need to stop going down. They need to have their pedal to the floor, their pedal to the metal the whole time, instead of just going, okay, we dominated the first 2 periods. Let's just sit back and play the overtime and shootouts and possibly lose it. That shit won't work in the playoffs. Um, and then again, the Lightning are a very different team in the playoffs. If you watch them in both years, they made it in 15 and 16, or 14, 15, and 15 and 16. They did pretty well as not stepping down, not playing what's the word I'm looking for? Step back defense, prevent defense. There we go. So we'll see what happens as time goes on. We got a lot of key matchups coming up to try to lock up the Atlantic. We got Montreal Saturday, like I said. Then we play Boston on St. Patty's Day. In my kitchen. That's my bad. I'm in a bad location. My internet is lagging bad. Hold on. Let's move. Let's move somewhere. I forget what I was even talking about. Oh, I was talking about the Lightning and how they need to lock up the Atlantic and lock up the Eastern Conference as far as the standing goes. And they did that in 04. And what happened in 04? They won the Stanley Cup. So they're playing pretty well. Like I said, still got a lot of. In March, they actually had 13 home games to 6 away games. So I got a lot more opportunities to go to games before the season locks out. Because those playoff tickets, judging by experience, outside the first round, those playoff tickets are ridiculous. So, the NFL, as far as the NFL goes, the combine just happened. I've heard a lot of names for a lot of people that think we need to take that kid out of Florida State, that safety out of Florida State. Um, I've heard a couple of names. They want oh god, there's a defensive end or defensive lineman. Like I said in my last live stream. Me and I care about my team solely. Meaning in college football, I can't tell you unless they've been largely named. In college football, I won't be able to tell you anything about anyone except for people in the Georgia Bulldogs or in the SEC in general. Um, I keep up with names and the big names in football and hockey and stuff like that because, well, I mean, you can't avoid talking about it because it's everywhere, and you recognize that those players are good. So, I mean, as far as the combine goes, I can't tell you much because I really don't care about that stuff, to be honest with you. Um, if I see a guy's talented, a guy's talented. That's cool. If whoever we take in the draft, of course I'm going to study up on them because I want to know who they are. They're on my team. But as far as Sony Michelle had a good showing at the combine, so did Nick Chubb. I heard Roquan Smith did pretty well. Didn't hear much on Dominic Sanders or some of the other guys, but I mean, hey, did that stop me from realizing that those are good players? No, it doesn't because I mean anyone that takes any of those four players I just named that came out of Georgia this year, excuse me, they're going to be heavily satisfied. Dominic Sanders is a pretty decent corner. You can play him in the safety position too. Roquan Smith, he's fast enough. You could use him on the line. Some people say he's too small to play linebacker. Do what we did with Noah Spence, put him on the line. He's pretty fast. I can't. I mean, Sony Michelle and Nick Chubb can speak for themselves as far as highlights go. So, that's all I can talk about as far as football. I've heard some rumors that the University of Georgia could be in trouble with for some of the recruits that they have gotten this year. That's all I know. I don't know if it's true stuff or if it's just rumors or if people are bored and trying to get clicks on their Facebook articles, which is why I'm not even looking into. I read on Twitter 3 days ago that there's supposedly an Uber incident with Jameis Winston's going to have him suspended for the first 4 to 6 games. I don't believe that for one fucking second. If it doesn't come from Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter or somebody official, I really don't pay no mind to it. Just like I mean, or the Pewter Report guys. The Pewter Report is a local, obviously a local uh, website for the Bucks. I don't believe in the Winston suspension hype. I don't believe that we're gonna get DeMarco Murray. I think that was some stupid shit posted on Twitter. I like our running back situation the way it is. I think Peyton Barber is gonna get his turn. Um, and what's another thing I was gonna say? Breaking news: Richard Sherman. No way. Is that official? Is that official? No, I don't. No way. Is that? Oh no, he's playing with me. Okay. I don't know if I even. Yes, I know. Eagle Speed. Yes, they did blow a 25-point lead, and you guys didn't. That was pretty impressive. And they were playing the same teams. I don't even know if I would want Richard Sherman. To be honest with you. Um, I would be more comfortable if the Bucks were to re-sign Grimes, as old as he is. But see, I don't know that comment you made about him coming to Disney afterwards. I don't know that can't be official because my phone would be blowing up right now. But yeah, man, just wanted to check in, say a couple things. Oh, that's an Instagram notification. But yeah, like I said, made my first payment on my season tickets today. The picture and the thumbnail that you will see when it's uploaded is where my seats will be. Uh, I'm excited. Excited to see what the Lightning do as far as going along, and I'll try to back every once in a while with you guys. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go do something. I don't know. It's my day off, so we'll see what I go do. But other than that, you know, So what's up, man? No, no, I'm not a Mets fan. I'm not a 100% in because that was more of a flash reaction. I'm not sure, it was a flash reaction. I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna stick with it. I may not root for anything for baseball this year. I might just watch and maybe with the Rays or something. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever actually do that since I actually uh, publicly defanged myself. I guess was the word. But anyways, I've carried this on longer than I thought I would. So with that being said, yeah. Oh, it's not as long as I thought it was. All right. So with that being said, y'all, deuces. How the fuck do I get out of this thing? Is that X? Where's that X at? There it is. Stop streaming.